Hey everybody, welcome back. This is going to be my review of Doctor Sleep. I just saw it 2 days ago, and I had work, so I couldn't do the review right away. But this is the sequel to Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, and this one is directed by Mike Flanagan. Of course, it's an adaptation of the novel by Stephen King. Mike Flanagan he's kind of a up and comer in the horror genre. He did Oculus and Gerald's Game, Hush, um, The Haunting of Hill House, I think is the name of that show. I love that show. I wasn't impressed by Hush very much. I don't remember Oculus that well, and I haven't seen Gerald's Game, but I've been told it's really good. And I love The Haunting of Hill House. I love that show. It's so good. If you haven't seen it on Netflix, I highly recommend it. But and this is obviously the kind of continuation of Danny Torrance's story. He's now an adult, and he is kind of in the show in the movie he says he's kind of running away from himself. So he's kind of a vagrant, he's kind of a drunk, and he's kind of running away from these ghosts that are haunting him from the hotel. They're kind of still following him. And Dick Halloran, the character from the first movie, who is kind of his mentor, he tells him about the shine, is kind of coming to him and telling him, different things that he needs to do. And so he eventually, kind of settles down in a town, and he's kind of getting messages from another person who has the shine. And it's this little girl, Abra, and she is like way beyond anybody who has the shine in the world. And there are these shadow people that go and feed off of people that have the shine. They murder them, and they kind of like, it just looks like they're sucking the soul out of them. Like it's kind of this smoke, and pain also intensifies this smoke that they take. Or they call it steam in the movie, steam. And so these people are kind of going around and they're killing people with the shine, and then they pick up on this little girl, and they realize that this little girl is very powerful, and they want to consume her, basically. And so she kind of is in contact with Dan, and eventually things kind of come to a head. And, that's kind of the real basic outline of the plot of the movie. There's a lot of things that happen in the middle. I really, really like this movie. I hadn't seen really. I may have seen one trailer for it, but I hadn't remembered anything about it, and so I went in this pretty much blind. I went with my brother because my brother loves The Shining. He's even got like a red rum tattoo, and so he really wanted to see it. So we went and saw it together, and he's read the book, so I deferred to him a lot about how much it matches up with the book. And he says the first hour and a half are pretty much what you'll get exactly from the book, or close enough, with little differences here and there. But then at the end, they change it up a little bit. And actually, what they do at the end is they take things from the original The Shining novel and integrate it into this movie, which I thought was kind of cool. The It's really, really well acted, really well directed. The special effects from time to time are a little strange. I don't know how else to put it. They're a little bit TV movie-ish, I guess I could say. It's not like terrible, atrocious, because I think they got the effect they were going for. It just looked kind of funny to me, I guess. I guess I should mention that Dan Torrance is played by Ewan McGregor, so, you don't have to worry about any kind of acting there. The only kind of weird thing that felt weird to me is his mother. I can't remember her name in the movie, but she is obviously Shelley Duvall is not coming back. If you've seen her appearance on Dr. Phil, you'll know why. So they had another actress play her, like young her, and it's really strange, really weird. I say that a lot, I guess, when something doesn't click well for me, but it feels like she's trying too hard to have the same cadence as Shelley Duvall does. It's this kind of like, oh my god, what are you doing? You scared me. That Shelley Duvall voice, and it's so weird. It was so strange to see, and obviously Jack Nicholson isn't going to come back to reprise his role as Jack Torrance, so they had Henry Thomas actually plays that role, and it was really weird to watch them switch the roles, and there's a different child actor playing young Danny Torrance, because there are flashback sequences, and then there's a sequence where Danny Torrance sees his father again as a apparition, and it's really weird. Like, I almost wonder why they didn't use I guess maybe they didn't have right to use his likeness in this movie. Because I was thinking, like, why couldn't they just kind of use those actors and then digitally put them in? I mean, that's kind of been a hot button topic lately, but it is jarring when you see somebody different in kind of an iconic role like that, kind of being taken over by someone else, and them doing their best to impersonate the role. It's really strange. The shadow people in this are really cool. I like all the kind of uses of the shine. Like, they're able to kind of astral travel in some scenes, and it's really cool because she's like flying over the city, and then she does like this weird like spin around flippy thing where she goes into this house and the whole thing flips around. It's really cool. I liked it a lot. There are a couple like really kind of gory scenes too. No, I shouldn't say that gory, but there's one gory scene, and then there's a couple. Well, there is a. This is funny. There's this moment where they kidnap this kid, and then they murder him, and he's like probably 10 or 11 years old, and they literally tie him down and just stab him. I mean, you don't see the stabbing, but you definitely, get the idea, I guess. And as soon as that happened, I looked at my brother like, what is going on? It's so funny because, like, even with the 31 Days of Halloween, I'd seen so many, it's like movies are kind of, I guess, stepping up, and they're trying to, like, top themselves by having these kind of, like, child murders in them or whatever. But yeah, that scene was a little bit like, whoa, okay, I know what I'm getting myself into. Yeah, all around, this was a really good movie. And it's a shame that it's not doing very well at the box office, because these are the kinds of movies that the horror genre needs, and, I guess a lot of great horror movies have gone unappreciated in the box office, and then once they hit Blu-ray or DVD, like years later, boom, they're huge. That happened to The Thing. John Carpenter's Thing went unnoticed in the box office. It's hard to believe, but now it's a classic in the genre, one of John Carpenter's best. So I think this movie will be remembered as that. It's absolutely a worthy successor to The Shining, and if you love The Shining, you owe it to yourself to see this movie. And if you've read the novel, I think it does the novel justice. Like I said, I haven't read the novel, but my brother has told me that it definitely holds true, and then it also combines elements of the original The Shining novel as well. So for me, this is like pretty easily, I'll say 4.5. It's hard to give any movie like a perfect score. It does have some weird things going on in it, but this was a really, really good movie, and if you have a chance to see it, I highly recommend it. I mean, it needs all the help it can get. Mike Flanagan's a pretty good director. Like I said, he's up and coming. He's doing a lot of good stuff. So if you can, go see it. 4.5 stars for me. So I got a lot of videos in the works. I've got a lot of stuff coming up in the next couple weeks. Couple concerts, and then I got something big coming up that I'll have a extensive video about. And then I got a couple ideas in the can as well. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys soon.